Since that first matchup, they're playing more together now. They've got the high-low going with Liz Cambage and A'ja Wilson, although, as we pointed out in the open, there's no doubt that the Aces love to pound it in the paint. Plum.
The energy starting out will be very important for the Aces as well. It's clear that when they come out and they get a quick start, everything works well for them. They have to set the tempo, especially defensively against this Washington Mystics team.
Tolliver, nice pass. First shot not falling there either. Batted away, quick turnover.
And that's the thing the Aces will have to focus on. They cannot afford to give Washington additional looks at the basket.
What they did not give there was an uncontested shot. They contested Deladon well, and that is one of the things they're going to have to do. Cambage, ball in her hand. Plum takes another shot, this one off the iron.
She looked for her shot early to get a rhythm. And right now she'll have to play defense.
Something's got to give. The Mystics lead the league with a field goal percentage. The Aces, of course, lead the league with the defensive field goal position. So which one is it going to be? Aces have taken a lot of pride in their defense.
And it has yet to be determined. It will be determined tonight just based on how they work out and how they rotate defensively. A lot of sets have been put in for this team.
6 seconds on the shot clock coming up here. Cloud inside. Nice quick turnaround, first bucket. A'ja Wilson contested, falling away, gets her first of the night.
And here you see there's a difference in the way Deladon played her on her left block as she did on this right on the other side. And A'ja read it perfectly.
Jackie Young contesting Deladon, not letting her go. Cloud into Deladon on the other side, underneath.
And even with the trap right there, Jackie Young has to understand that her help is coming from the middle. So she's got to keep that baseline side closed.
Meanwhile, feed the beast underneath. Young to Liz Cambage. We talked about Young's assists these last 3 games.
She's gained a comfort level with getting the ball inside to her teammates.
Atkins for 3. No good. Nice pass. Cambage outside of Jackie Young. Cambage, 7 assists in the last game.
She draws so much attention that sometimes her teammates are left open. Like right there, Jackie had an open shot. That's a shot she'll have to take and hit if they're going to win this game.
Cloud. Got the screen to Deladon. Natasha Cloud knocks it down. Tolliver. Come around on Liz Cambage. Christy Tolliver picks up her first foul of the night.
Kelsey Bone with the duck-in pass to Liz. Liz is kind of long. Christy Tolliver just a little confused on the contact.
A'ja, top of the key. No good. Liz, though, great job. Batting that ball around and the whistle.
And the battling will take place. You see so much physical contact here with the Aces because Liz Cambage demands presence. They send 2 and 3 bodies at her and making sure that she is off the board. You see here Latoya Sanders, she's trying. But Liz has a position.
Hand off to Jackie Young. Jackie going to take it to their hole. No good. Second opportunity. Deladon all over it. Sanders comes out with it. Whoa.
And the Aces recovering in transition because they understand everyone on this team is a threat.
Deladon inside to Sanders. Talking about the ball movement.
They make that extra pass. So it works for them because they understand that all of them are a threat.
Cambage takes the shot. Comes up short. Aces are 2 for 9 from the floor to start off. Tolliver all the way in. Plum on her.
And that's one of the things they went over in practice. So 2-9, the weak side defense has got to rotate over because their guards are so good at penetrating and getting to the basket.
I believe Bill's about to go over that again. Yes, they did go over it in practice. It's a 7-0 run for the Mystics. A good start, 7-0 run pushes them ahead. Vegas 1 for 6 of these last 7 shots. Contrasting styles today. Be aware of it. Mystics lead the league with 8.9 made three-pointers per game. You're going to have to defend out on the perimeter. Aces, no question. They love to pound it in the paint.
The versatility by this Washington Mystics team. Everybody can shoot it from outside. So the Aces are definitely going to have to figure out a way to cover the paint, but get out to recover on the shooting.
As Cambage turns around, comes up short though.
Liz gets the entry pass, turns around, just not there yet. So she's definitely got to regain her composure because she'll see a lot of physicality tonight, as she does every night.
Deladon for 3 off the front iron. Second turnover for the Aces, both on errant passes.
And Sugar Rogers was in there to shoot the ball, so everybody was surprised that she passed that because she loves that fast break three-pointer.
Just watched her close her eyes and exhale. Tasha Cloud going to back things up. How quick is she going to try to take it inside? No whistle.
There was a great collapse of defense on the inside. Kayla McBride came. Liz Cambage came. Everybody came to assist.
3 seconds on the clock coming in. Here's Deladon. Yep.
And Asia with a great contest, but Deladon has a shot. She gets it high up over the long arms of Asia Wilson.
Natasha Cloud gets the other team's best three-point shooter every game. Mike Tebow said Cloud just loves it. She and Tolliver take a lot of pride in their defense. Tolliver, even after 10 years in the league, recommitted herself to defense. He said she takes it personally.
And it's necessary. You look right now, she's playing great defense, and the Aces have already turned the ball over 3 times.
And there's a turnover on the other side for Washington. Sugar looking, seeing nothing but Mystics, so she'll shoot it. Asia fighting for it. Everybody heading the other way. Here's Deladon. Liz coming in. Good job by Liz Cambage, so Atkins has to take the long shot. No problem.
We talked about that earlier. You recover to the middle, but you've got to be able to get back out to contest that long three. And Asia Wilson pleading with her teammates, come on. The energy has got to be there for them. And they've got to recover. Asia has Tolliver helping, and she's fighting her way to get around Deladon. Is able to get her up in the air, finish, and go to the line.
That bucket ended an 11-0 Mystics run. Elena Deladon picks up her first foul. Dearica Hamby has entered the game.
And Dearica always brings great energy for this Aces team when she subs in. Exactly what they need right now.
Plum on Tolliver. Plum takes her defense personally as well. Sugar on Cloud. Crisp passes. The Mystics making you wait for it.
Great ball movement. You just watch how well they maneuver and make the defense move, and they make that extra pass. And here the Aces, once again, the nemesis is their turnovers. You cannot turn the ball over against a team that's good.
loud movement. Out to Atkins, baseline, kick back out to Sanders. It is tough to guard the Mystics. Look at this ball movement.
They stay so wide that they force the defense, and there's no way you can recover.
They're spreading the floor, and then there's that.
And then another turnover.
Tolliver laying it in. Points off, turnovers 5, turnovers, resulting in 7 Mystics points.
You see the frustration, not only from the Aces, but you see Bill Laimbeer calling another timeout to try and get his team composed. A 19-2 run.
19-2 run, as you just mentioned. Bill talking to his team. A slow start. He's really tough to overcome versus the Mystics.
And versus anybody, but especially against the Mystics because they're so good. They will not give games to you. You've got to figure out a way to beat them, and you can't continue to beat yourself.
Mike Thibault in his 7th season as the Mystics head coach. We had a great talk beforehand. He said, you know what, after every one of these wins, when the media asked me a question, they ask us, what was wrong with the Aces? What was wrong with the Connecticut Sun? What was wrong with them? And he's like, how about what we did right? And I tell you, I see it because we talked about it. The floor is spread so wide that it seems like there's more players on the floor.
And there's no hesitation by each of the players. When you're open, you shoot the ball. And that's something you don't see with the Aces. There's a bit of a hesitation. I don't know if it's confidence or just trying to run the play.
Atkins into Deladon. The help arrives. One good stop. But can he convert on the other side? Tiana Hawkins says no.
A difficult attempt by Kelsey Plum.
Atkins. Plum. Laying it in.
And the Aces finally able to get one to go down. A good look without a turnover and an easy layup.
Now it's got to be a bit of rinse and repeat for the Aces to try to catch up. That is a big deficit early on.
Defense is key. Miscommunication.
Tolliver passes to Atkins. Again, the Mystics looking great, shooting 61% from the floor. 10 assists. Nice from McBride.
K-Mac with the back screen for Asia. Asia draws all that attention, and K-Mac able to get an easy shot off from the 3.
Mystics 10 assists on 11 made field goals.
Right here, K-Mac watching the ref and just looking at, upset about the call. She thought it was a bit of a flop, but the contact was there. She went down.
Tamara Young entering the game. Tori Walker-Kimbrough as well.
And this is a matchup that I think will benefit the Aces with Dearica Hamby against Deladon. She's much more agile and aggressive.
Plum picks up her second foul.
And the Aces definitely want to get into Tolliver's body and occupy as much space as possible. Try not to let her get those shots off. She gets in. She actually looks like she pushed off. And that's why Kelsey Plum is super upset about the fact that she's charged with her second foul, now heading to the bench.
Oliver converting from the line. Mike Thibault said it was about the All-Star break last year when Tolliver said, look, we need to recommit here, and we need to recommit at the point of attack. I'm going to start things off. And
there's no better way to lead than by example. And you can't just talk about it. You actually have to do it. Because people are able to talk the talk but walk the walk.
Sydney Colson in now that Kelsey Plum is out. Tiana Hawkins and Dearica Hamby battling it out. Keep an eye on Hawkins and Hamby, two contenders. The 6th Player of the Year award. And how about that? The third time's a charm for Asia Wilson.
Asia will not be denied. She's down there, contact everywhere, fighting, competing.
Hawkins shot off the mark, but Tori Walker-Kimbrough, his job on the rebound into Hawkins. Second time works. And Tolliver nods her head. Yes.
Inside, outside, back inside, back outside. It's very hard for a defense to play that long.
Powers is fouls on Powers, but boy, her foot speed is something.
She did a great job of trying to recover, but Ty was smart enough to get under those arms and go up to the basket.
Tamara Young will go to the strike. Tough first quarter for the Aces. The Mystics, though, looking just as sharp as they did last time they were here in Vegas.
They are who we thought they were.
Sanders nails another. What a first quarter for the Washington Mystics. 30 points. Strong start. Elena Deladon and company shooting from all over, but it's really the sharing the ball that did it. Mystics have proved tough to defend. Last time these two teams met here, Washington scored 30 points in the first quarter. This time, 30 points in the first quarter. A nice start by the Washington Mystics as they have done a terrific job of sharing the ball. Jerica Hamby all over it. Sanders hangs on to it, so she's ready to put it in the hole.
The confidence that this team has, even when they're under pressure or under fire, is unnerving. And I can imagine it's frustrating for the Aces.
Coming around the screen is Tamara Young. Shot's going to make you wait for it.
It bounces, and bounces again, and finally drops and goes in. But you saw on that possession, even when they look at Liz, Christy Tolliver is coming from the weak side to help. So she will not get easy looks at this basket.
Shots up for three. Powers knocks it down. 4 for 9 are the Mystics from beyond the arc.
It is coming from everywhere. The three-pointers, the three-point attempts that they're able to get up. Everybody looks at it, and they're consistent in making them.
Last time these two teams met, the Mystics drained 10 from deep. No bucket. Whistle was earlier. And these are the two of the top scoring teams in the league. Take a look at the points per game. Mystics and Aces 1 and 2 in the WNBA, so we expect it to be a high-scoring affair. 35 points, less than 12 minutes into the game? No, I didn't expect that. Colson, no whistle. Tiana Hawkins. Tiana Hawkins in discussions, according to Mike Tebow, should be for as 6th player of the year, as is De'Erica Hamby.
I was about to say De'Erica Hamby will have a little something to say about that.
Oh, for sure. And I'm just watching the two of them matched up against each other for much of this game. He believes that Cheyenne Parker also belongs in that discussion. Powers for 3. Loose ball picked up by Powers. Kick back out. Cloud going to take a long ball.
And the
third
battle
opportunity.
from the boards being won by the Mystics.
Cambage.
Great hustle by the Aces on this possession, but they need that energy on every possession. And then to go down and get a quality offensive possession and taking care of the ball and getting a good look at the basket.
A'ja Wilson right through traffic and in, but no.
The Aces shooting under 38% from the field. Not able to get the shots to go down. 9 for 24.
Ty Young shoveling it off to Sugar. You can feel that reaching in.
And the Aces know that if you make that pass into the corner, Washington has a tendency to trap. So you want to stay out of that corner and give yourself a good chance to run your offense.
Olsen drawing the foul.
Reading the defense with that bar arm, knowing that she could cross her over and get to the basket, was able to draw the foul.
Story Walker-Kimbrough charged with the foul. Sugar out, McBride in. It's been hovering around this 15-point deficit. And we've seen a lot of that. Missed bunnies.
Great hustle by K-Mac to get back into play and gain the possession and set up Liz for the two-pointer.
Aerial Powers. Boy, just keeps her head about her with that move, huh?
All of her body weight was going to her left and able to spin on Ty and get her going towards the baseline and still finish.
A'ja Wilson puts her head down to take it in. I'm telling you, anything within 2 feet of the bucket's not happening.
And the Aces have to realize this is a physical game. So with that pass, that drive to the basket, A'ja's got a 2-foot jump stop, regain her balance to get to the basket. When you're being pushed as you're driving to the basket, it's really tough.
15-point lead for the Mystics. They have held on to that lead. Aces are going to have to get their minds right. To start this game, hot, and it has been tough for the Aces.
The Mystics are executing at a very high level, making the right passes, taking the proper shots. They have consistency even when a change comes in off the bench. So they look better than I've seen them.
Well, they looked pretty great last time they were here, and they certainly looked great against the Connecticut Sun. They gave Connecticut one of the worst defeats in WNBA history, a 43-point win for the Mystics in their last game. What's crazy is, it's matchup with two of the top teams in the league. They're already done for the year. Sun and Mystics have played 3 times. Aerial Powers to Cloud.
And right here, the defense. The referee called a 3-second. Both A'ja and Deladon are looking at him to see was it offensive or defensive. But apparently, Elena Deladon was in the paint for too long.
Cambage turning around into Sanders.
She's got people draped from her arms. And the Aces able to play long enough to get a tough shot.
Cross-court pass. Tamara Young sees room right in front of her. Doesn't go. Going to make it right.
Hustle is going to be what it takes. She got a great look at the basket. Didn't make it, but stayed after it on the boards. Asia now with a tough test, having to stay in front of Deladon.
Deladon gets it done anyway.
Got Ty running a little bit of the point guard. A bit of confusion on the play.
McBride. And the other way, nothing's looking easy, I'll tell you that. Outlet pass, emphasis on out.
And the fans on the front row are screaming touchdown. Give the fans a chance to be a part of the game.
All right, that's your explanation. Tamara Young into Liz Cambage, Washington all over it.
Liz is super frustrated because she feels all the contact and there being no calls made on her behalf. But she's got to learn you got to go strong to the basket. There's no guarantee that a foul is going to be called.
Latoya Sanders and Liz Cambage each with 10 points for their respective teams. Mike Thibault out on the floor, arguing vociferously. Mystics with an 11-point lead. Cambage fighting through Washington players and then making a point. 11-point lead for the Mystics. Last time the Aces were within single-digit points was at the 4:05 mark of the first quarter. Liz Cambage, 10 points again. It's the 45th straight game with 10 or more points, the longest active streak in the league. We thought that streak was going to be broken a couple of games ago. She had 4 points in regulation, but it went to overtime. Liz poured in, and WNBA record 12 points in a 5-minute overtime period to help the Aces with the win.
And for her, definitely better late than never. She helped her team pull out that victory with those 12 points.
Tolliver, it's so good.
And right there, that closeout has to be closer for the Aces. Christy Tolliver is an excellent shooter and doesn't care who's in front of her.
Mugged. It's Tamara Young coming in.
And right there, you see, they left her open because they want to put the pressure on the guards to shoot the ball because Liz Cambage, clearly they don't want her to beat them tonight.
Aces basketball. What'd you say about Liz?
She's going to get hers either way, but they're definitely going to make it as difficult as possible.
Sanders for 2. Mystics shooting at 62% from the floor. There's no question this is going to be a high-scoring affair, I'll tell you that. Uh-oh. What'd Liz do?
They called an offensive foul on her post-up. She was being held. She felt like she was being held. And then when she tries to get in front, she gets called for the foul.
That last little move. Entering the final 2 minutes of the first half. Over to Atkins. Oh, another turnover on that pass kick, though. What? What? Okay. Everybody calm down. It looked like it went off of Christy Tolliver's leg. But the official called Mystics basketball. Let's take a look. That might be off Polson's leg. Did I mention I have bad eyesight and terrible judgment?
And Asia trying to contest and stay in front of Elena Deladon. Unable to make the contest without the foul. But this team has definitely got some things to work on going into halftime.
Deladon at the line. Take a look at it again as she tries to go in. She and Asia battling. Mystics shooting 60% from the field, have made 5 from deep. They have 14 assists and 20 made baskets. Just everything looking strong. Aces out rebounding the Mystics 14-12, slight advantage. Tamara Young. And Asia rattles around. No good. Mystics basketball.
Every call going the Mystics' way, their hustle and intensity is really indicative of how this game is going.
It's a third foul on Liz Cambage. Lead back up to 16 now for the Mystics as we approach halftime. Largest lead of the game.
Frustration has to be turned into concentration because right now the Aces seem to be falling apart just a little bit and not being able to keep themselves in a place of positivity. But they'll have some time, a minute and a half, to cut this lead down.
A place of positivity. I like it, Rusha, but yeah, it's tough. How about that? It's tough. Inside to Asia, collapse. 4 Mystics around her. Deladon takes it away.
And that's what they are trying to do. They collapse, and they're forcing these guards to shoot. You see, Tide didn't shoot. Great defense by Asia. But Ty didn't shoot. Jackie didn't shoot. De'Erica didn't shoot. Trying to force it inside.
Right, talking to Jackie Young coming up the floor. Back out. De'Erica's got to take that shot.
And it has to be there. They have to look at the basket and be a threat, because if not, that gives the Mystics defense a chance to just collapse on the inside. Everybody knows that's the Aces' strength.
15-point lead for the Mystics. Coming up at the half, we're going to look ahead to the All-Star game. It's going to take place right here this month. And let me tell you, nobody throws a party like MGM. So the All-Star game this year, WNBA All-Star game, going to be unlike any you've ever seen. They've announced the entertainment. Wow. It's going to be something. We'll explain all of it at the half.
All the fans will have a great time this year. The Aces hosting the WNBA All-Star, but having a Friday night activities with the three-point contest and the
Skills Challenge,
and Skills Challenge.
And then there's a party afterwards, which I'm sure you're going to.
Who, me?
Yes.
Well, maybe I'll show up.
Hostess. Hamby working for it to get in.
And right now, there's nothing on the inside. Everything comes really hard on the inside. So the Aces got to look at the basket from the outside. There are open shots to be taken.
De'Erica Hamby doing such a great job, and you talked about it, alluded to it a little bit. I mean, absolutely averaging 11 points per game, a leading contender for Sixth Player of the Year. She, and Tiana Hawkins as well, for sure. And Mike Tebow would like to add Cheyenne Parker into that conversation, but what Hamby has done this year for the Aces has really been special.
And finally, a call for the Aces on a possession. Ty battling for the offensive rebound. Right now, Coach Lambier trading offense for defense, or defense for offense.
A little earthquake happening.
Wow.
Yep, we're feeling
The
it.
building is shaking.
Earthquake, but they're keeping play going at the moment.
It's still moving.
Bit of a roller. So play stopped for the moment.
You see the Jumbotron overhead still shaking.
Yeah.
Earthquake in Vegas happened yesterday as well.
Yeah, and it's a long one. So we've still got a little bit of rolling going inside the arena. Lots of conversation. And play continuing now. Final seconds of the first half. Kelsey Plum looking at the clock. What's the last shot going to be? 4 seconds. Derek Hamby saying, shoot it. Shot clock expires. Missed opportunity. Bill Lambier frustrated as he looks at it, losing track of the clock. This is the largest halftime deficit of the year for the Aces, 15 points. Not at all the way that they wanted to start. Marusha Brown standing by with Liz Cambage.
Liz, very physical. See you taking some bumps down there. How are you going to stay focused to move forward in the second half?
I take bumps every game. Every game's physical for me. We just got to come out with energy. We didn't come out with any energy in the first quarter, so we need to pick it up.
And defensively as well, there was a little bit of a disconnect. What could be led to better play in the second half?
I don't know. We're probably about to cop it right now. We got to regroup and figure it out.
Get in the locker room, figure it out. See you in the second half. Good luck.
Not the smoothest half for the Aces, but the Mystics doing well. Lots of assists on the ball, moving the ball well as they hand the Aces the largest deficit of the season for the first half. Beautiful Monday evening from the desert in Las Vegas, Nevada. Third quarter about to get underway from the Mystics and the Aces. Marusha Brown standing by with Aces assistant Kelly Raymond.
Coach Kelly, a very abnormal situation tonight, having to come back, a suspended game after the earthquake. How does a team prepare for 20 minutes of basketball?
Well, I don't know. I've never done it. It's a first for everyone. But I think with a game like this, just it's going to be at most important just to be very aggressive. I think for us from the beginning, we're also starting down 15 points, so that's huge. So we just have to really just go for it.
And that was primarily my next question. Down 15 points, what type of adjustments do you make maybe defensively that you can have your team put a little more pressure?
Yeah, nothing that I can tell you guys, but we got something in our back pocket.
And offensively, would there be more chances for outside shots maybe, knowing that the time limit is so limited?
Yeah, definitely. But I think as coaches, we don't really think that much into it on strategizing on exact what shots we're going to get. We just want our offense to flow. We want to definitely push the ball on them, push the pace. That's something that the Aces are good at. We're just really good at playing fast. But we have to keep the turnovers down. You know, no easy baskets for them, no offensive rebounds for them, no second shots. We can't afford it tonight.
And even in the last game, down 15, your two leading scorers were Liz and Asia, neither of whom will be playing tonight. What type of adjustments with your three post players do you think you can help them to get situated?
Well, I think, our posts have been playing really well. We played a great game in Dallas. Swords really contributed for us. Hamby's been doing well throughout. And, we got Jisoo some minutes. So hopefully she continues to grow.
Thanks, Coach, and good luck.
Thank you.
New arena, new start. Talking with Kayla McBride earlier today, she said, you know what? It's like pickup basketball. No time to warm up. Just get right into it.
And that's going to be really important, especially for the shooters, letting them know that you got to come out ready to shoot the ball and score and play great defense.
I tell you what, McBride was in a great mood at shoot-around today. And when we talked, take a look who's on the floor, because we're not really calling it a starting lineup anymore, are we? But Kayla McBride said, she was looking at the stats from last half. And she said, I only took 3 shots. Well, I'll tell you right now, that's not going to happen.
I'm sure it is going up, bombs away.
They bucket can't go in if it doesn't go up. On the other side, though, I tell you what, you and I talked about it. And first of all, this is the biggest deficit of the halftime deficit of the season for the Aces, so that's the way they pick up. But we talked about it after that first half. Washington was playing some of the best basketball we've seen all year by anybody.
Their ball movement, they're finding the right pass, making the extra pass, and finishing. They just did a great job of exhibiting excellent basketball.
Asked Bill Laimbeer if he's ever been in this situation before, same that Mike Tebow. He said, no, absolutely not. Interesting, we're talking with Tebow about Elena Deladon, and then I had a chance to talk with EDD a little bit. She said that her father came in after the Seattle game and worked with her on her stroke for a bit. The next morning, about an hour and a half with Dad, helped her find her stroke again. She said, look, he's been my shooting coach my whole life.
That doesn't benefit anybody in the league. Looks good for her, but everybody else will suffer for that quality time of Dad.
And they have since then. I mean, she has really found her stroke. And when Tebow said, look, I didn't say a word. Dad was there. He knows her better than anybody. Knew what was happening. We're going to re-inbound the ball.
Confusion already. Everybody trying to figure out what's going on. Only 5 seconds off the clock.
Look, it's a first for everyone. Talking with Mike Tebow, he said they had a game rescheduled because it was kind of raining during warm-ups in their building a few years ago. That's as close as he could come to it. He's seen everything.
You know, both of these coaches have been around the game a long time. And all the things that have taken place. But once again, like you said, an earthquake, not so much.
All right. Inbounding the ball. Second half underway.
And already a little bit of a difference because the Aces down 15 are putting full court pressure. You saw Jackie Young in the backcourt.
Certainly don't need to save anything, that's for sure. 7 seconds remaining on the clock. Pressure's going to be there. 5 seconds. Uh-oh, Natasha Cloud makes the extra pass. Shots up. No good. McBride tips it over. Aces on the move.
Great box out. And able to get the possession.
Kelsey Plum on the perimeter. Jackie looks at it into Swords. No good.
And there's no time for the Aces to get warmed up and sample it out. They got to look at the basket and go down.
EDD shot no good. Talked to Kayla McBride a little bit about what's going to be key. And she said, look, if you can cut the lead in the first 6 minutes, then we got a chance. She said, but you've got to cut that lead down early.
And that's why defense is really important. You cannot let the Washington Mystics come out here and get a flow early on. And that confidence that they have, because they play so well together.
Coming off a loss to Phoenix last night in which Phoenix shot 58%. Talked with Tebow about it, and he goes, look, throw that out. Phoenix played terrifically. Griner was a beast. He said it's the best that he's seen Griner play ever. Kudos to everything that was happening over there. Leilani Mitchell just found a stroke and kept it going all night long. McBride looking for an opening. Plum. Tolliver got a little piece of it. Plum. Shots up. No good.
And the Aces so far haven't found any rhythm. They're making extra passes, but they're not looking at the basket.
Only been a minute and a half. Atkins. This is not the arena that the Aces usually play in either. McBride. Foul is on Kelsey Plum. It's her third. So again, she had 2 from the first half. Pass by Tolliver. Uh-oh. There's room in front of her, trying to make the extra pass. Bounces off Carolyn Swords. Recovered by Washington. Tolliver's going to get that pass if it kills her today. Getting to Sanders again and again and again.
And you see the defensive rotation by the Aces. They're faking the trap. They're moving and giving a different look to the Mystics as far as what that defense is going to look like. Here, Carolyn Ford stepped out and Tolliver stepped back, but Carolyn Swartz on her recovery was able to get an arm on it.
Jackie back into Hamby. First bucket of the second half.
And there it starts. They've got to make sure they play good defense and get good looks at the basket. That one took a little time.
Hamby picking up where she dropped off. She scored the last 4 points of the first half. Over to Sanders all alone.
And right there, they had 3 defenders coming in on that drive. And then nobody was able to stun out towards Sanders.
Jackie Young for 3. No good. Carolyn Swords gets a piece of it, batted away and out of bounds. Aces basketball.
And that's what the Aces need from her. She cannot have hesitation. When she's the one that's open, she has got to put the ball up because the open shot makes a good play for the Aces.
Hamby's got to take that shot. She passes it off to Plum. Jackie Young, but here it is. Plum. So good. Before the buzzer.
Right at the buzzer. Great timing. And this team is moving the ball around.
Deladon. Always.
She is so cool, calm, and collected when she gets that ball. Be it one player or 2 players flying at her.
Plum for 3.
Here it is. They've got it. I mean, there's so limited time, and they know what's at stake. Kelsey Plum is a shooter, and this looks like she's got a bit of a rhythm thus far.
EDD, speaking of rhythm, comes up short, grabs her own long rebound. Tolliver back to EDD again. Off the glass.
And the Aces are rotating and rotating, trying to help. And they have to be a little more frantic on defense to make sure that the Mystics don't get an easy look at the basket. With the drive inside, Dearica goes to help, comes back, and then Carolyn comes to help her too. Deladon just too smooth.
Poking at Plum. Plum going up off the glass. Kelsey Plum, 8 points in the second half.
In 4 minutes, nonetheless. So she's able to get that ball up and in.
Second chance, no good. McBride behind the back of Cloud. Jackie all alone. They're daring her to make it.
And she has to take the shot. So it's very much understood the strategic plan for the Washington Mystics. If Jackie Young is open, make her take that shot.
Uh-oh. Kelsey Plum going to pick up another. That's her 4th.
And the 2 fouls that she started off with have already gotten her in trouble because she picked up 2 quick ones right here, and she's on fire offensively.
Yeah, 8 points and 2 fouls to make it 4 total. Tolliver. Aces basketball.
And the communication on that play, Plum was yelling, help, 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 and Dearica reached over to get in the way.
McBride over to Dearica Hamby. Jackie Young outside, Plum waiting too. Jackie taking the shot, not falling just yet. Atkins turns around, nails it.
Right there, Kelsey Plum has to back off just a little because she knows she already has the 4 fouls. Just play solid defense and stay in front.
foul on Christy Tolliver. Lead remains at 14. Kelsey Plum doing her work, trying to chop it down. Long ball after long ball by Kelsey Plum. Earthquakes get me all shook up. Asia, what's wrong with you? It's not a time to joke around.
Instead of crying, you gotta laugh. So she always has a great sense of humor. We expect nothing less than a joke from Asia.
She said, this one I'll leave on. If there's an earthquake, I'm out of Vegas. I can take floods. It was a little disconcerting. You were not, I'm from LA, so it was no big deal for me. It was like my mother rocking my crib. But for you, you were a little shook up too.
I get it. We're both from the South.
Swords turns around right into Atkins, fouls on Atkins. That's Atkins' third personal. Oh, they made us wait for it, that one.
The look of the bounce.
Swords just delivers when need be against the Wings at home. 10 points. 2 right there.
And you know, she's such a solid veteran. She has waited her turn. There are nights when she hasn't even played. She's done a great job of staying ready.
Well, and she didn't play in the first half against Washington on the 5th. This is her first action versus Washington in Vegas. McBride. Tasha Cloud, though, was quick down there. She turned that into 2 because McBride would have taken the 3. Looking forward to EDD. Pass was off just a little bit. Ty Young. Kind of to help and get back. Atkins. Tolliver. Natasha Cloud, that's that beautiful ball movement. It was worth the wait with the second left.
And the patience that they have, knowing they have these Aces defenders running at them.
Plum. It's another long one. Fouls on Natasha Cloud, I believe. Nope. It was on Elena Deladon. Her second. Into Hamby, turning around Deladon. Well done by Dearica Hamby.
Great job of reading the defense and the help come in and making sure she went to the weak side. Deladon closed off her left, her right.
Wow, looking to go inside to Sanders. Uh-oh. All alone, Elena Deladon.
And every possession, they get a fingernail on it, but that's not enough. They've got to come away with those balls if they want to chop into this lead.
McBride, 2. Hammy, reading the rebound, positioning great. Swords. Empty possession there for the Aces.
And this now about quality.
Deladon, forget about it. Just forget it. She's 7 of 14 in this game. You include the July 5th. 2 of 6 from deep. She was 0 for 4 from 3 in July, in the July 5th game.
Well, those days are gone. She is back in full stride.
Sanders no good, I think. And Ace got a piece of her. Yeah, Deladon talking about with her father. She said, I'm not a shooter that likes to shoot with my shoulders squared up. And so we were just working on those little things that really, according to Tiba, only your shooting coach from your childhood knows.
And I'm sure he noticed a difference in her shot and could tell her instantly what was going on.
Yeah, she said he still sends her, obviously, things during the year, but that hour and a half with her dad. Well, the lead was 15 when we started the third quarter. Now It's expanded.
This team, they came here to play their 20 minutes, and they have not left anything in the locker room. They've come out and they're shooting really well, taking the pressure, and still able to get that ball up and in.
And with this is the largest lead of the game. July 5th, Mystics at one point led by 18, but now it's bigger. And it's painful for the Aces, who have a lot of work to get done in a short period of time. Over to Kayla McBride. Miesemann now entering the game. Plum from deep. Her third make in this half.
If nothing else comes for this game, her having her stroke back is definitely going to benefit this team. But right now, they got to look at playing defense.
Swords up and off the glass.
You've got your number 4 leading the fast break, giving it to the post player.
Tolliver. Plum's defense, improved the defense, but Tolliver fading away.
Incredible. There's nothing else that Kelsey Plum could have done. Missy Tolliver is so crafty.
Stepping back for the long ball again, it's Kelsey Plum. I called Deladon Midas at that one and went in. Everything she touches turned into gold. Instead, they pick up a foul.
Yet another offensive rebound that gives them an extra possession and good look at the basket. You see Ty trying to close out, but that extra look at the basket.
Powers shooting. Jackie Young coming back into the game. Swords out. That's interesting, yeah.
The Ace is going small.
Going small but long. Distance beyond the arc for 3. We're ready for it. Powers off the glass.
But they need the rebounding as well.
Over to De'Erica Hamby. De'Erica trying to go right through Washington traffic.
And the Mystics are doing a great job of rotating also. Every time somebody puts the ball on the ground, they suck in around it.
Ten seconds on the shot clock. About the same left in this third quarter. 6 seconds. McBride out there, but Plum fouled as she took the shot.
You see Kelsey Plum trying to take the advantage with Miesemann. Tolliver comes around to try and help back out. Gets a hand on her wrist. Plum goes to the line for 2.
While making them count. Kelsey Plum, 13 points in the third quarter. She had 2 in the first half. Elena Deladon, though, punishing. If you give her any room at all, she's going to hurt you. Look for more from deep next. Fourth quarter, Things happening awfully fast. Jackie Young rotating, getting the bucket. Well, there's a lot of work to be done, Rusha, in a very short period of time if you're a Las Vegas Ace.
And it has got to start on the defensive end. They cannot continue to let Washington get open looks at the basket.
Elena Delle Donne had 11 points in the second quarter, or in the third quarter. Plum, her 13 points. How about the 15 now?
She's having a Washington Husky flashback. She's doing everything on the court right now.
Except her defense is better, and I can say that because I watched her all through college. Taking great pride in her defense. Miesemann coming around. I can feel it, though, coming off of Plum. She believes. She believes.
She's back in her flow where she was just taking the shots and not really thinking about the flow of the offense because she knows her team needs her.
Tie. Looking for the foul, too. Hawkins gets charged with that. Plum. Right into a freight train.
Kelsey Plum, a strong player, making sure that she gets low and goes around that.
Take a look at it again.
Ty with the step back, able to get it right over the outstretched fingertips.
Plum. Tolliver in front of her. Christy Tolliver not about to let Plum get any room. Tolliver not going to let anybody. She just appears.
She is there, and her hand-eye coordination, she's able to get there. Even when she's helping off, she recovers really quickly.
Great work by Christy Tolliver. Not on my watch could be the theme of her defense. Miesemann passing in, then again getting the ball to Hawkins. Loose ball. Washington comes up with it.
And those hustle baskets, the Aces have got to come away with those balls, those 50-50 balls.
Tie. 2. Christy Tolliver. Atkins has room. No good. Plum coming in on the rebound.
And on the box out, Ty Young trying to push, but she pushed just a little too hard. Call for the foul.
It's her second.
Let's get louder for Aces defense.
And there's the court was shipped over about 6 blocks from Mandalay Bay Event Center to T-Mobile Arena. This is playing on their usual court. Uh-oh. Tamara Young.
There's a battle going on down there with Tamara and Tiana Hawkins. Both extremely physical players.
Meanwhile, is that an Aces logo in her hair?
Yes.
Very nice.
Similar.
Hawkins. Again, just getting in position, getting those second chances.
And she is there, and everybody's going to the board because they know they need offense right now more than they need defense.
McBride, that bucket not falling in. Things starting to get out of control. In terms of the deficit, trying to overcome. Miesemann, right up the middle.
And this is one of the situations when your aggression on defense can be turned against you. When you overplay everything, there are backdoor cuts that are super open.
All this happening for the Mystics without Elena Delle Donne on the floor. She had a terrific third quarter. Hawkins, it's up, no good. Miesemann fighting for it. Uh-oh.
And De'Erica walking the other way, thinking she got the over-the-back call on Niesemann. But they called a foul on Jackie Young. Oh, they reversed it. So Niesemann got the foul.
All right, so fouls on
was right.
Meanwhile, Sydney Colson entering the game. Sugar Rogers enters the game as well.
You know what's about to happen. Bombs away.
Well, it's needed. So Elena Deladon coming in again as Niesemann goes out. Elena Deladon, 4-time Eastern Conference Player of the Week. Plum. That one not falling for Kelsey Plum. Powers just having her way. At this point now, a 20-point lead for the Washington Mystics. Hamby off the glass, no good. It's been an 8-0 Washington run. And with a 5:41 to go, an 8-0 run by Washington, things are going in the wrong direction for the Aces. And by wrong direction, I mean south. 20-point lead for the Washington Mystics in the fourth quarter. Fans are having a good time here at T-Mobile Arena. First time we've ever called a second half only of basketball. Amory Anderson and Rusha Brown. Aces needed a hot start and didn't get it.
They got some great shots up from Kelsey Plum, but defensively, their aggression has played completely against them. Washington's so smart, so crafty, so savvy on offense that they're able to play with ease against the traps.
And what can you say about Elena Deladon? I mean, July's the Eastern Player of the Month, averaged 20 points per game. OPS, she's got 19 in this game. Averages 18.7 overall for the season. Deladon, up, over.
That is impossible to guard. De'Erica did everything she could. Hamby was in her space, into her body, did not give her an easy look, and she still nailed it.
Oh, pass into Swords and passed away. 10-0 run for Washington. Hawkins. Without the big presence of Liz Cambage or Asia Wilson inside, Aces rotating around some other bigs, but those two, the best front court in the league.
And you can definitely tell that they missed them. The Aces able to pull out that win in Dallas without both of their bigs. This is a totally different ball game.
For sure. Asia Wilson still recovering from an ankle injury. Liz Cambage, rest. Jisoo Park in now for the Aces. Sydney Colson, why not?
It's got to go up. So the sooner the better. The more time you spend playing offense, the harder it is to catch up.
Trying to get around Tolliver. No good. Over to Swords. Nothing falling. Those third quarter shots that were falling early, not happening. Nothing going.
And it's tough for the Aces right now. The frustration being down 21. And knowing that everything you try on defense, you come up with nothing.
Timeout.
Washington taking a timeout. This game is critical between the second and third place teams in the league. Mystics came out looking like they're playing for second.
They're trying to win it all. This Aces team has got a lot of work to do.
Second half action, because that's all we have today is second half. Mystics and Aces in T-Mobile Arena. Historic after an earthquake. Suspended game July 5th. Second half only. And boy, the Mystics came out chopping away. Elena Deladon found her stroke early as if it was ever missing. Natasha Cloud here.
And the Mystics are doing the work offensively and on the boards. Every shot that goes up, they are crashing.
Atkins. At this point, 3 minutes left in the half. Huge deficit. Tie for 2. Carolyn Swords fighting for it. At what point do you just make it rain from the outside?
For me, from the first inbounds. I don't know. Kelsey Plum tried. She did it. And I think right now the only three-point shooter out is Sugar Rogers. Sydney hit some.
Sydney hit one in this game. Jisoo taking a shot. Meanwhile, look at Washington. Smooth as can be. Misa Mendes-Oliver.
That was like the layup line. You pass it and you get the bounce pass straight going in.
Mystics have an 11:30 flight tonight. Tebow looking to get them home after being on this West Coast swing. A 16-3 Washington run.
And the Aces continue to hustle on defense, but once again, Washington comes away with the ball. Only 8 seconds left on the shot clock.
Back in the game for your Aces, number 0, Jackie Young.
Five seconds on the shot clock. Powers with the ball. Looking for room. Shots got to go up for Miesemann. It's good. That's how good.
Unbothered are the Washington Mystics.
That's the right word. That is exactly the right word. Mystics came in here. All right, we got to play the second half. All right, let's do it. Looks just as good as the first half did a month ago.
If not better. That same rotation, great passes, making the extra pass, a little more ball movement.
With the addition of Miesemann, who drained that one. Sydney Colson, no good. Nisha Hines, Allen throws this one away.
Into the front row behind the scorers table.
Yeah, Chris Lumage, the Aces social media coordinator. Almost catching that. He's got to get his hands up.
Be ready, Chris.
Jackie passing it back out to Carol.
And every offensive rebound, the Washington Mystics are hustling to get those.
Another 100-point game coming for the Mystics. Of course, the Aces' biggest loss this season was a 23-point deficit versus Washington at Washington, June 20th. Aces coming up. They have a nice homestand Friday against Chicago, Sunday, Connecticut, and then versus Atlanta August 13th. So some time to be at home, get things straight.
To work it out.
Yeah, this was a tough one. Without Liz, without Asia.
Hopefully this will make it easier for them to digest. They were already down 15, another 15-point deficit in the second half.
Jackie Young, lid on the bucket. Nothing going to happen. Can the Mystics push it over 100? They're just going to hang on to it. For the Washington Mystics, they're at home. Indiana, Minnesota, and Seattle is their week ahead. Mystics came into town, got it done. A win for the Washington Mystics over the Las Vegas Aces. The schedule will now resume.
So now with the handshakes, that's all that's left for this game. 20 minutes played, and the Aces got to throw this one away and get ready for this weekend.
Asia Wilson, Liz Cambage out for the Aces. Washington Mystics, everybody in, looking strong. Elena Deladon continues to show why she is leading candidate for MVP of this league. A loss for the Aces, a rebound, if you will, for the Mystics after losing to Phoenix. They take a short trip up to Vegas, pick up a win, getting on the red eye and heading home. For my partner, Arusha Brown, and our director-producer, Jess Eichhorst, I'm Anne-Marie Anderson. So long from T-Mobile Arena.